we'll move on to Sri Ravi Narayanan ji. His paper is Pandharpur Vari, a Confluence of Sampradayas.
Om Namah Pranavathaya Shuddha-jnanaikamutaye Nirmalaya Prashanthaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Gurubhyo Namaha. Tamil மண்ணில் நின்று என் மனத்தமிழ் தாயை வணங்கி தமிழ் மொழியை வணங்கி ஸ்ரீரங்கம் வரும் பாக்கியத்தை கொடுத்த பெருமாள் பிராட்டியை கும்பிட்டு எல்லோருக்கும் என்னுடைய வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்து என்னுடைய பேச்சை ஆங்கிலத்தில் தொடர்கிறேன். The topic for today is Pandharpur Vari, the confluence of Sampradayas. Dr. Sambhu's Amma has already given a brief about Pandharpur and she has gone in depth, and so I will not go into those details. Just that Pandharpur is called as the Southern Kashi or the Bhu Vaikuntham. Before I proceed with the paper, a few disclaimers. We are not academia and are still learning the nuances of research paper. This I will especially have to say after Abhilash Nayar's presentation. Though we have visited Pandharpur and have also undertaken various other pilgrimages like my yearly Sabrimala Yatra, we have not yet participated in the Vari. The paper rests heavily on research papers and books, and the theme of confluence of Sampradayas is what has intrigued us the most, and hence this humble attempt. The methodology: research papers, books in Marathi and English, pravachans and discourses, and of course interviews and discussions with the people who attend the Vari regularly. There are two aspects to when we talk about Pandharpur, the history and the folklore. On the history side, we have the copper inscriptions by Rashtrakuta King Avideya, where Pandharpur is mentioned as Pandurangapalli. Then we have the Hoysala King Someshwara, who has given grants to this temple, Yadava King Ramachandra, and also the history of how Afzal Khan invaded Tuljapur and Pandharpur, ransacking the temples and then finally meeting the end by Shivaji Maharaj killing him. When we come to folklore, we have the story that Sambhu Samma said that Rukmini has left in angst and Krishna is following him, and that is where Krishna happens to meet Pundalika, and Pundalika throws a brick asking Krishna to wait. In the hot sun, he just throws a brick and asks him to wait, and that is the pose, the Akimbo pose that Vithala is standing. It is the pose in which Vithala waited patiently, Krishna waited patiently for Pundalika to finish his course. Then there is Vithala is mentioned as a Brahmin robber who died defending his cattle. This is in the Leela Charitra of the Mahanubhava Panth. The Mahanubhava Panth has always been in conflict with the Varkari Panth, and so this is somewhat written in the two versions. Either he is a robber or he is a hero who died fighting for the cattle, protecting his cattle. Vithala is also known as the Dharapati of Virappa. Virappa is the god and Vithala is his Dharapati. Then there are some Buddhist claims that Vithala is standing without his consort. So it is a Buddha pose. He is meditating and so on and so forth. But the Murti of Vithala is in the Katya Valambita Mudra. It is a famous posture of the Vrishni god. So it is clear that, and also it is clear that the left hand is holding the Shankha and there is a Kaustubha Mani on the chest. Pandharpur basically has been a Shaivite Kshetra. Jain monk Hemachandra suggests that Pandharpur, the deity is Rudra, and the rulers of Maharashtra, Satavahanas, who were from the Aundra clan, they are ardent Shiva Bhaktas and they have built Shiva temples not only in Maharashtra but down south. Again, Pundalika, the main reason for Vitthala coming was also a devotee of the Shiva in the Shiva temple. Shaivism has been the basic faith in Maharashtra, and transformation to Vaishnavism may have happened due to the interpenetration of Natha Pantha and Vedantic traditions. The earliest references is when Adi Shankaracharya visited Pandharpur and the Pandurakashtakam was given by him. Mahayoga Pithe Tate Bhimaratyam Varam Pundarikaya Datum Munindre Samayagya Tishtantam Mananda Kandam Parabrahmalingam Bhaje Pandurangam. He speaks about Pundalik, he speaks about Vitthala standing to give boons to everyone, and it is said that Vitthala has been standing for 28 yugas. This being the Vaivasvata Manvantara, it is the 28th yuga that Vitthala is standing for giving darshan. Just a quick of what the paper is going to lead to. It is the Vari that we are going to basically talk about. The Vari is not a pilgrimage, it is a journey, it is a householder's path. In the present, Vari has been there since before even Jnaneshwar, but it was given form by Jnaneshwar, and the present form of the Vari was started by Sant Tukaram's son, Narayan Maharaj Deolkar. 4 processions take place in Chaitra, Ashad, Kartik and Magh. The Ashad Vari is supposed to be the biggest and the most followed. The entire journey is 220 kilometers and it takes 18 to 21 days. There are 43 palkis. These palkis carry the padukas of the saints, and then there are 400 dindis, small groups within the palkis. These dindis may have from 100 to 1000 people groups, homogeneous groups. The structure of the Vari is decentralized. So now we come to the Sangamam. Why we say that the Vari Sampradaya is a Sangamam or a confluence of Sampradayas? As was said by Sambhu also, that Advaita Vedanta was what was followed by the earliest sons who were propounding Varkari Sampradaya. So it is surely Advaita Vedanta has the base, but it is when you go deep into it, you will find that other Sampradayas has also played a role, and these teachings has led to the confluence of not only Jnana and Bhakti, but there is also a borrowing of and refinement and amalgamation of various other Sampradayas and philosophies. We first come to Advaita Vedanta. Jnaneshwar Mauli says, Paya padu gele tava, paulachi na dise, samova ki pathi mora na kare. When I bowed to fall at his feet, I could not see his feet. I do not understand whether he is in front or behind me. The Varkari Sampradaya may not be pure Shankara Advaita, but it is still Advaita as the Bhakta sees no difference between himself and Vitthala. See, what Sambhuzama also mentioned was that there was each Varkari, the Varkaris considered everyone as Mauli. Vitthala as Mauli, the fellow Varkaris as Mauli, with no difference of age, caste, gender. They fall at each other's feet, calling them as Mauli. There is one more mention about connecting to Advaita. Jnaneshwar Maharaja's sister, younger sister, Muktabai, when once Jnaneshwar Maharaj was in a very recluse mood and he just shut the door of the hut and he was sitting inside refusing to open it because he got very annoyed and very disturbed by the way society was treating the brothers, the siblings. So that is when she gave what is known as the Tatiche Abhanga, in which she says that the world the cloth and Brahma the thread. Open the door, Jnaneshwar. Muktabai is one of the most revered saints and her abhangs are part of the Sakala Santa Gatha. The Varkaris follow this philosophy very closely. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his lifetime, he stayed for 11 days at Pandharpur. And in those 11 days, he with his disciples and his brother, they had 3-4 days of continuous discussions on Krishna, and they had Sankirtans, and that is somewhere where the Abhanga, the singing, the style of the Varkaris, the Sankirtans, it resembles the Gaudiya Vaishnavism to a great extent. In fact, his elder brother Shankara Narayana gave up his mortal body at Pandharpur. So the Sankirtan and Abhanga singing in groups of the Varkaris resembles the Gaudiya Vaishnavism practice. मुंगी उडाली आकाशी, तिने गिळले सूर्याशी. The ant flew in the sky and swallowed the sun. Anything is possible. By His grace, anything, and this is the Vishishta Advaita, believing in the infinite sagunas of the Vitthala. He is capable of doing anything with the movement of his eyes. He is having his hands on his hips, indicating that the samsara sagara is only hip deep and can be easily crossed by everyone having complete faith and sharanagati. Again, they follow Ramanujacharya in practice, both in the concept of bhakti to personal God and that the exigencies of daily life are not detrimental or even contrary to the life of the spirit. Another very interesting concept by a so-called Advaita Vedantin, Jnaneshwar Mauli, is Chid Vilasvada. Jnaneshwar Mauli talks about Chid Vilasvada or non-dual empiricism. Chid is Brahman and Vilas is the play of his creation. This is very different from Shankara's Advaita Vedanta. Jnaneshwar tradition is Natha Pantiya, which is compatible with Kashmiri Shaivism. He has integrated the yogas of karma, jnana and vairagya into bhakti. Karma to do the dharma of the family and society. Jnana to take knowledge from Sant Mandari and the experiential knowledge that one will gain through the continuous Vari. Vairagya is best experienced and expressed in the Vari. The moment you spend time with a person who is regularly going to the Vari and a person who doesn't go to the Vari, you will see a big contrast in their attitude towards life, in their attitude towards problems and the philosophy of their life. Because here in the Vari, all socio-economic status, people coming from educated, uneducated, all varnas, everybody walks together and they go to their only goal is to reach Pandharpur. You will be surprised to know that they don't even feel it necessary. Most of the Varkaris, they don't even feel it necessary to go and take the darshan of Vitthala after going to Pandharpur. For them, they have to reach Pandharpur and then take bath in the river Bhagirathi and then come back. So again, here one more interesting thing is, in Chidvilasvada, Jnaneshwar says that Jagan is mithya. He has negated that, saying that the world is not unreal. Jnaneshwar considers the world to be an inspiration of the soul and not to call the world a lie, so that devotion could flourish and karma yoga should gain strength. The Varkari who considers himself a householder and is doing all the householder duties throughout the year, and when the time of the Vari comes, he takes the baggage of the life and he proceeds to become the Vari and he proceeds for the Pandharpur Vari. Then we have the Hamsa Sampradaya, which is the Dvaita Advaita, where they say the Jiva and Jagat are dependent on the Supreme Brahman. Jivatma and Paramatma are different and very difficult to reach. Very difficult to reach Paramatma, but possible with sincere faith, devotion and meditation. Never forget him even for a second. This Jivatma Paramatma are different and very difficult to reach is also been echoed by Sant Tukaram when he says, Nalage Mukti Ani Sampada, Santa Sangha Gheyi Sada. I don't want Mukti. I want the Sangat of the Sant. I want the company of the saints again and again to walk the path of Pandharpur. Tuka mhane garbhavasi sukhe ghala mein avasi. Tukaram says that put me in the garbha, let me be born again and again, because I want to reach that state where I am continuously walking with the saints and travelling to Pandharpur. Here we have seen the confluence of various Sampradayas. In addition to this, there is Eknath Maharaja's ideals of speaking about the ideals of Rama and Hanuman and how the Kshatriya Dharma has to be maintained so that the enemies who are coming and attacking could be kept in check. The attack on the temples could be maintained. Jnaneshwar also speaks about Veera Rasa, and Ramdas Swami, as somebody questioned and was answered, the message is manliness, bravery and patriotism, and he speaks of Anandavan Bhuvan, where Ravanas of the world or Ravanas of today are vanquished and people live in peace. So in Pandharpur, in this Vari Sampradaya, Vitthal is Mauli. He is also called as Vithai, Vithabai in the feminine form. He is Mauli, the mother of a married woman who wants to go to her Mahir or her maternal home. The fellow Varkaris are Maulis. As with all Sampradayas, all practices, there are of course misconceptions. I am just wanting to conclude with peeling the layers of misconceptions. The Dindis are not segregated on the basis of Varnas. Women are equally on the forefront and widows are also permitted to. In fact, there is a Dindi number 50 of Ambe Jogai where the Dindi is led by a widow. The Varkari is not only for Hindus, many Muslims also participate. Sheikh Muhammad is a popular Sant Kavi and his Abhanga are also included in the Sakala Santa Gatha. Older Dindis have the privilege of being closer to the Palki. There is always a thing that the Brahmins, the Dindis belonging to Brahmins are only allowed to go near the Palki. It is not the case. They are the older Dindis travel near the Palki and the newer Dindis come behind. The villages where Palkis halt become chaotic, insanely dirty with garbage, but yet the villagers will do anything and everything to ensure their village is the chosen one. Current social issues and messages are also undertaken to educate lakhs of the Varkaris. There was an incident of dough chemicals which was in Shinde Vasuli Gaon, and this dough chemicals was being detrimental to the environment and a particular hillock was to be destroyed or demolished for the chemical plant to come up. And this hillock was very sacred to the Varkaris. So the Varkaris all came together, they made a revolution, they made road blockades, they made numerous presentations, their leaders were arrested, but finally they had the way and the dough chemicals was called off. And for the environmental issues that are raised by people, with change in practices, more cleanliness has come in the Vari. The RSS has stepped in a very great level and around 28,000 toilets have been made en route and 12,000 Swayam Sevaks are managing the show, and 4 crore liters of human waste has been converted to fertilizer. I am talking only about the Vari. Conclusion. We have seen how the Varkari Sampradaya is a confluence of various schools and teachings of various sons. The strength of the collective is what the sons envisioned as ideal form of penance and bhakti. It is a chalvar. Chalvar is iyakkam in Tamil, on a movement which kindles social issues and giving voice which is heard. The lofty philosophies, the myriad abhangs of the sons, so very easily ingested and walked upon by the humble farmer, the IT professional, the simple mother and the first time skeptic, carrying the flag, the idol of the Tulsi plant, culminating in the bhakti of their Mauli, making them two Vaishnava Veeras. Truly, it is a symbolic dhava or the run, where everyone runs and everyone wins, running in exhilaration at the very site of the temple Gopuram. These are my references. Krishna Arpanamastu.